Jeremiah Young. I came from Chicago. That's where I originally grew up, but I moved to Kokomo and grew up there. Grew up in Kokomo. Got into sports. My sister, she got me into track mostly, and it was my seventh grade year. I started long jump, and it just off the bat I was pretty decent at it. My first meet I got like third, so I was like, yeah, I want to try this out, and continued it from there. Um, yeah, went up to eighth grade, and then eventually got into high school. And I told my coaches I ran a 54-55 split in the 4x4 one time, and ever since then they had me run the 400 my whole freshman year. The whole freshman year, and I hated it, every part of it. I didn't want to be in it anymore. Like I was begging them to take me out of it, and I just would do bad on purpose to purposely get out of it because I just hated it. So my sophomore year, I unfortunately got injured, um, and I wasn't doing very good freshman year. No way, like in long jump, I was, just 19s, 18s. I was just inconsistent, scratching all the time. And then there was a senior and another freshman ahead of me. There's a freshman, Derek Ross. He jumped with me at state. He beat me actually. He jumped in 21s freshman year, and there was a senior that was jumping like 20s. So they let them compete at sectionals, and I didn't get to compete my freshman year. Went into sophomore year off injury, came back. My first meet, I jumped a 20'9". I was like, okay, pretty good. That's a PR. I'm getting pretty good at this. So they just let me do long jump the rest of the year. And I progressively got better until regionals. I jumped 22.4 on my first jump, and that was what qualified me for state. And I got second to Elijah Coker. I don't know if you guys know him, but yeah, he's a good long jumper. But yeah, went to state. We drove down to IUB. It was about a 3-hour drive. It was raining, pouring down. It was my sophomore year. So we had to go indoors, and I did not compete well. It was bad. It was bad atmosphere. I was just out of the regular. But I got 12th. I could jump 21.7. It wasn't my PR, but, I did what I could. Um, Went through junior year, you know, obviously worked better, got strong in the weight room, and got faster, stronger, better. So came back my junior year, and I had a really big breakthrough. I think it was Kokomo relays. I jumped a 23.5, big PR. So yep, stay consistent in there. I at section as our sections, I had to run 100-meter, 4x1. I did high jump and I did long jump, just because we needed points. So I scored in every event, so that was good.
We were wondering, we saw quite a bit
Yes.
what you had. We are like, he's all over the place with stuff. So that's pretty cool. What was it that outside of your sister, what is it that kept your interest when it came to track and field?
I would say just the environment, mostly the environment. Everybody on the track team, they're really great to me. Like, they never put me down or anything like that. They would always uplift me to do better. I feel like that's a great part of it. A lot of athletes, great athletes came out of that school and that track team.
At Kokomo?
Yes.
Okay. And the thing that caught me was like I've only been here so many years, but Kokomo hadn't really come up too much. So that's why I was like, Kokomo? So that's why I was like, yeah, we got to get him on because I think
absolutely
the story.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, y'all. I mean, y'all got to do our history. There's some people that came out of Kokomo. We got Frankie Young, we got John Alsop, we got Jediah Beard, we got a couple people. You just got to do your research.
Yeah, well, neither of us are from here.
Yes.
So that's
from
why.
Ohio. So no, that's really good. I mean, and I'm glad you're sharing that rich history with us. And I love the fact that the school you are at, it was a great environment for you. And so, what would you say kind of um, clicked for you with long jump? You know, you said your freshman year, you kind of jumped, but then sophomore year, you had a PR of the 20-foot 9, and then you just continue to progressively get better. So, did something click? Did something change? Like, what motivated you to just kind of, like, I can really do this. I can, be better at this than what I was originally jumping.
Yeah. So, uh, it's like off injury, I just got stronger.
Hmm.
I feel like weight room and physical therapy, it definitely pushed me every day because I was doing intensive training to get back to where I wanted to be or to get back better. And really, it was just you know my coaches definitely
Hmm.
100% long jump coach. Just his verbal words would really help me mentally. Like everything he was saying, I would just think about it and it would just click. It was just one thing
Hmm.
that he'll tell me, and I'll just use it in my own way, or like tune it up or tune it down,
Hmm.
and that's what really helped me. My coach's words.
Yes. Well, shout out your coaches. What are your coaches' names? We always like to, you know, make sure we
Yeah.
giving flowers now.
My sprinting coach Zenova Williams and my jumping coach Manny Williams.
And shout out to the
Are
coaches.
they siblings?
No, they're married.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
okay, that works
Yeah.
too. uh, um, what about like in terms of up until this point? What would you say has probably been one of your best memories of the sport so far?
Mm. My best memories it has to be last year's state. Like it was the best feeling I've ever felt. Like we had one of the best teams we've ever had at Kokomo ever. We had everybody was just getting along. Everybody was doing good. It was just a great environment. It had to have been last year. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
What would you say is the most challenging aspect of being a track and field athlete?
Mm. Most challenging. There's there's like two of them. I feel like okay, so first there's the mental part of it.
Hmm.
Tracking is a big mental part of everything you do. You're running, jumping, throwing, pole vaulting. It don't matter. Uh, and then another part of it is the injuries. Like track injuries is different. I feel like from every other injury, track injuries could set you back a lot, and you just have to build off of what was broken. So definitely injuries and mental, the hardest
Hmm.
part.
Now, with that, you've been a person who's been injured. You had those different setbacks. How did you overcome that? And how did you get into the space where you are now, where you can go out and win a HSR championship?
I'm gonna go back to what I was saying: the environment of my team and the environment of my coaches. The constant people telling me, "You got this," push through, get stronger, get better, and you'll be fine. I believed it, and they,
Hmm.
my coaches, my coach, well, my jump coach, he's a pastor,
Hmm.
so you
Okay.
know, they go into church, and of course they're gonna give me God advice. So
Hmm.
God really helped me through too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some values you feel are important for athletes to have? So you already talked about the spiritual foundation. So what are some other things you feel are important?
Important for an athlete to have. Uh, I feel like you have to be able to communicate with, others or communicate with your coaches and, really tell them how you feel about, certain races, how you think you can improve.
Hmm.
And that will really help you in the long run. That'll help you, visualize it yourself. Because if you can tell other people the problem, then I feel like you can get the problem figured out yourself too. So just communication.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, everybody has that support system in their corner when it comes to track and field, especially if you've done anything like summer track. But we know track meets are long. What's your parental involvement like? Like, how supportive have your parents been of this? as you embarked upon this journey?
I will say my siblings have been a big part of
Mhm.
me coming along this far. My sister, she goes to every single track meet. She makes sure she's there, hours away, it doesn't matter. And yeah, it was mostly my sister.
Nice. Well, tell us your sister's name. We always like to shout out the village too.
Jayla Young. Jayla Young's my sister. Yep.
Thank you for the support for
Yeah.
sure.
Huh. Now, everybody, track and field is a complicated sport in the sense that it's like individual and team. But for you, how do you define success when it comes to track?
Define success. I feel like success is really all about like how you feel. It doesn't really matter about, other people. It's all about you, your self improvement. If you feel as if you've gotten better and like you got what you wanted out of your hard work, if you got what you wanted out of it, then that's the biggest part about it, I feel like.
Mhm. So, how would you say you stay motivated? Track can be very long, like the seasons can be very long. So, how do you stay motivated through training sessions?
I feel like it's more of I want to break off from family traditions. That's a big motivation.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I want to fall really far from the tree. So
Nice.
that's a big motivation.
So track is obviously something that can be character building in a sense that you have these ups and downs, you have these hurdles that you have to overcome. You've had, you know, things, your expectations and disappointments and all that. How would you say that track and field has helped shape your character?
Track has helped me shape my character by helping me help others. Um, when I see an athlete uh, having trouble, um, you know, having trouble running or having trouble with their form or, lifting or something like that, it translates to me going back into, the classroom or, in school, seeing that a person needs help with their work, I help them out. Seeing somebody, having trouble carrying their stuff, I'll help them out here and there. Somebody who's hungry or something, they don't have a lunch, I'll give them my lunch. It's just it translates. It's me helping people on the track and me helping people in like school and outside of school about like at church. My church, we go and we had a event holding where we passed out school supplies and just helping out others. That's what track really helps. But
What would you say is I keep going back to the great thing you said about your team and the environment and just how that motivates you. What would you say is the best piece of advice one of your coaches has given you that's kind of stuck in your head?
they said your performance it doesn't define who you are as a person. Just because you did bad at you might have did bad at your event, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means stuff happens. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. So
Mhm.
that stuck with me.
I like that.
Now, if you could change one thing about the sport itself, track and field, what would it be? What would you change?
Ooh, more money, I guess. I don't know. That's probably it. I mean, I love the sport.
Yeah,
Everything else can stay. You just give us some more money. That's all.
Yes, yes.
fair enough. I mean, I would agree. On the coaching side, it could be you could use some more money
Yes,
too.
right. We doing it because we love y'all for
Right.
sure.
That's for sure.
Right.
Yes. What role does nutrition play in your athletic performance?
Nutrition, it helps me rebuild my body. Obviously, eating bad after track meet is not going to help you recover. So eating good is the best thing. I like to get Smoothie King. You know, I get the Power Plus chocolate Power Plus from Smoothie King.
All
But
right.
my favorite are Chewies. My favorite are Chewies.
Okay.
I know they're not. best
Yeah,
for
I was
you,
gonna say.
but they're not the best for you. But I feel like it's the best snack. Like it just gets everything. I feel like it's easy, quick, and
Yes.
you'll always see me with chewies that attract me, 100%.
Well, okay, we got some NIL things working here. I see.
Yes. Right.
um,
Maybe.
I can participate in the track and field. What kind of impact has that had on your social life, your friendships, that type of thing?
All my friends, all my close friends, they do track. I try to get everybody out to the track. Give new people, so we can build a bond because that's where I'm. 90% of the time the track. So I love to bring people to the track to get that friendship going, and that really helps. Talking to people, it really helps, especially when you're all going through the same pain together. Running
Mhm.
lactic acid, everybody's in pain, so you're not doing it alone, which is I feel like it helps. Get along better.
I like that. So you the in-house recruit. You are the person that all the
Yeah,
coaches want, asking their friends like,
But we really appreciate you joining us.
no
And
problem.
if people want to follow you, follow along with you, where would they do that? What are the next steps for you in terms of school and everything else? And how can we be of support to you?
Well, I'm gonna continue performing at Kokomo High School. Outside of that, when I graduate, I plan on going to UND
nice.
because there's a Division II national champion over there. He won indoors and outdoor.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna train under him. So that's gonna be something.
Nice. Nice.
Um, my Instagram is jyoung_lv and Jeremiah Young on Twitter. Um, TikTok just jyoung24. That's pretty much it. That's all of them.
All right.
Nice.
We appreciate you joining us.
For sure. And wishing you the best of luck for outdoor.
I
Look
thank you,
forward
and
to
I thank
seeing
you guys
you.
for
Yes.